The question I wanted to ask is actually to do with culture.
Go on.
If there's a village in Africa, doesn't matter, forget all the corruption and everything else. I know, I'm just taking it down to the basic. And I took 500 Africans out of that village and all that surrounding land that they owned, and I put 500 Jews. Right now, I've chosen Jews specifically because they've been through hardships and then they've learned how to overcome things. What would that village be in 50 years? Travel throughout Africa. Okay. And one of the questions I want to ask, if I talk...
What were you doing over there?
I was travelling.
Oh, okay.
I was travelling all throughout Southern Africa, Lesotho, Swaziland, Mozambique, South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Namibia.
Okay.
I was out there for a year.
South, right, okay.
Yeah, in the south. The question I wanted to ask is actually to do with culture.
Go on.
If there's a village in Africa, doesn't matter, forget all the corruption and everything else. I know, I'm just taking it down to the basic. And I took 500 Africans out of that village and all that surrounding land that they owned, and I put 500 Jews. Right now, I've chosen Jews specifically because they've been through hardships and then they've learned how to overcome things. What would that village be in 50 years?
I would have no idea. Are you talking about Jews with their mindset of today?
Yeah. They've learned to overcome.
Yeah, they've had
and then develop.
They have a totally different mindset. Totally different mindset.
It's a culture thing.
Totally different mindset. No. I mean, mindsets are like. So we have to see. I always look at things in post-colonialism. And pre. So pre-colonization, Africa was doing a load of stuff. Post-colonization, whether it be of the European Christian or the Arab Muslim, Africans have been used to a certain way of life and a certain status, let's say, on the socio-economic ladder. So it's been bred, like the British colonists bred into them, you know, Christianity and British Empire and we are basically your masters and all this kind of stuff. And you can see Africans, even today, you get an African from Nigeria and they will have that kind of colonist mindset.
Nigerians, though, we forget Nigerians.
Right, anyway, but just generally, like, because
it's true, and that's what I say, it's culture.
A 500, you have to understand, there's been a 500 year, I've always said to people, there's been a 500 year or 1,400 year program that's been downloaded into a lot of African minds.
You do know though,
and it may take another 1,400 years to upload or get another virus.
If you ever look at one of the countries I was most impressed with, and you can't even mess around there at the border. I see lots of people get refused when they turn up. Botswana. Botswana, what's going on there is dragging them into the 21st century.
Right. So you have to look at, if you look at Africa as like a continent, there have been leaders throughout the time. So we can go to Thomas Sankara. You probably won't know his name. You go to Patrice Lumumba. You probably won't know his name. But there have been leaders from either the Congo or Burkina Faso who have attempted to say to their people, listen,
don't be a victim, be a victor.
Don't be a fucking victim, be a victor. This is what we're going to do. We've got corn over there, we've got this over there, we've got that over there, we're going to do. And you know what happens? You can predict it now. Be honest, what do you think happened?
I think someone comes in.
Someone got involved, didn't they?
I can't deny it.
And so this is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not like people are, yo, Millie, what's good, brother? You good? It's not like people ain't trying to help themselves.
Because I've seen, you see the development now in Africa, or in certain places in Africa, Angola's another one, where like there are years of civil war, and now you look, it's the most expensive, one of the most expensive countries in the world.
Now you got to ask, who benefits from civil war? Who benefits?
Well, I mean, if I take the Congo,
big business benefit from civil war.
Yeah, you see what's going on in Congo now.
Congo, everyone's got a phone, they've got coltan in their phone. Without coltan, you wouldn't even have a phone. That comes from Congo, civil war.
Right.
Now, how can you have a multi-billion-dollar Japanese technological industry, and in America also, all run with coltan, but you've got Congo being one of the poorest countries? That's design. That's not coincidence.
That's a common theme.
Somebody's got to design that. And if the African...
It's a good question away from Islam now, isn't it?
It's good, but then if
Adam Smith said that.
If a Congolese African leader comes tomorrow and says, hang on a minute, forget this.
Exactly what Sa Ra was saying.
So it's not that Africans are not trying and haven't tried.
No, I'd never say that.
But a lot of African leaders now know to just shut up. They put them in power, they give them some money, and they will shut up and say, just keep the status quo going, and no one will bother you. And so that's when you get these corrupt African leaders who've got palaces and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that the people are poor because they're getting money from those. They're getting their little cut off the top from the minerals and all this kind of stuff. And the big businesses are the ones.
Massive. That's what the Chinese are.
Ivory Coast right now, the money from Ivory Coast is printed in Paris.
I know, it's a form of
So if Paris decided tomorrow, you know what? Now we don't like you. The country's fucked. And that's the kind of hold that a lot of these European countries have over Africa. They print their money.
It's the same, like I say, I went all out, spent a year out there, and some wonderful places. Swaziland, beautiful, stunning.
I've been to South Africa, I've been.
Yeah, you've been to South Africa. You know, it's a great place.
It's fantastic.
But politically, it's messed up.
Oh yeah.
The whole of Africa
Completely
generally politically is messed up.
Yeah.
But it's now being kept messed up. That's the thing. There's a difference in it being messed up.
Yeah.
But it's when people have got invested interests in keeping it messed up, that's when you realise there's a design going on.
I can't deny that. I can't deny
world
that.
over,
You see it out there.
Really?
And that's why.
I've been to South America and I've seen it
the
there.
world over.
So that's why I talk to black people. I say, listen, hey,
Don't be fooled.
don't be fooled. There's a fucking design going on. And what are you going to do about it? Because I'm saying, it's not. I said, when people start preaching that stuff with hate at the end of it, then it becomes a problem. If I say, oh, the fucking white guys, the fucking Arabs, then it's like, oh, whoa, you're preaching hate. I'm saying, no, listen, we've got companies, we've got big business, and we've got you. Yeah? So this is what you're going, this is what we should do. Don't hate people. Because hate is another negative energy that you can't, I haven't got time for it. But love your people enough to get them out of the situation that they're in. That's what I'm saying.
The potential out there is amazing.
It's crazy out there.
Got your work cut out in the US though, right?
Oh, listen, man. I'm only one man. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm only one man, but I've still got my voice and I'm going to speak.
You've still got in your head, that's...
Yo, on the question of design, can I ask you something about design? Because what you hear often is when you talk about Patrice Lumumba and stuff like that. Well, I mean, the truth is, we can talk about design, about how Western states have colluded against independent African governments. The truth is, Patrice Lumumba wasn't independent. He was completely funded by the Soviets.
Right.
As was...
well, you had to choose a side at that point.
But that's my point. We talk about design when it goes against Africans, but we don't talk about design when it's for Africans. And the Soviets were completely behind Lumumba. If there was no Soviet funding, Lumumba, no one would be talking about it.
Right, that's true.
As is the case with Amil Cabral from... I can't remember what country in fact, but a Central African country had a big guerrilla movement.
Right.
And he's really heralded as a great African revolutionary. It's Soviet funded.
But hold on.
It's designed both ways.
But 100%, because you know what? Because you had the Soviets that didn't like the British and the Americans. Right? So it's like, as an African...
And Lumumba was a pawn.
But as an African, Lumumba was like, listen, I need someone to help me.
Yeah, but...
Sure, but it ain't his money.
Yeah.
It's the same way Ivory Coast money is French.
Hold on, it was my conversation.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do before when you're in a position to do what you want to do.
But I just feel like there's not a recognition of design.
I'm always about objectivity, and if that's what it is what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
The same happened in Mozambique, didn't it? We had the Portuguese there.
Yeah.
Okay. So they wanted independence. So they kicked out the Portuguese, and the only one that supported them at that time, they had their own reasons, was the Soviet Union. I've got a stamp in my old passport, and actually, you know what it's got? It's got on the Mozambique visa, it's got a sickle and a Kalashnikov.
Really?
Yeah, it's the old visa. You know, when I went there.
But
that's the same.
Well, that's an ideology. That's not the Soviet Union. I can adorn the hammer and sickle and not be with
but I mean, the Angolans similar.
It is similar.
It's representative.
It's similar.
Yeah, Savimbi on one side and then the communists and the Cubans on the other.
But then imagine being in a position where you know you got to pick the devil or the devil.
Yeah.
I'm not moralizing.
Imagine being that's what I'm saying. So you got to pick one.
But Lumumba was not independent. And neither was Castro. People are Castro good independent. He wasn't. He was bad.
I don't know much about Castro, but
we could make an analogy between all the revolutionary states. None of them were independent. That's the thing. My point is that we're quick to look at the US and the UK and their involvement in like crushing certain rebellions. But we're never looking at the other side which supports the rebellions. It goes both ways. I mean, I reckon any of us here, I challenge anyone, we'll all be hard pressed to find a revolution that was completely independent with no support. I think many
Except
people
for the
find
Haitian.
The
Haitian Revolution.
That's a fair point. That's going back a while.
Yeah, it's going back a while. No, I know.
Let's keep it to post-war.
Right,
Even
okay.
then, it'll be very hard because the West and the East have always dictated.
100%.
Even to this day.
You
know what I'm saying?
I don't disagree with you, bro. I don't
And
disagree
so the point is that why isn't there any independent third world states, black or Latin or whatever?
or whatever.
That's the question we got to look
design,
at.
like you say, it's design.
What did they support?